I've been on multiple Carnival cruises, and while I've had some amazing experiences, there are a few things I'll never do again. From bad dining choices to frustrating onboard experiences, I've learned some lessons the hard way. If you're planning a Carnival cruise, trust me, you'll want to avoid these mistakes. Number 1. I will never sail on Carnival Cruise Line's oldest and smallest ships again. Through experiencing the Carnival celebration, I realized that the newer ships are just on a whole different level. The older ships feel cramped, with low ceilings, outdated neon colors, and long lines everywhere. In contrast, the new Excel-class ships like the Mardi Gras and Celebration are sleek, modern, and packed with exciting features. These ships hold more passengers, offer better amenities, and create a much more enjoyable cruising experience. It's hard to go back once you've seen what Carnival's newest ships have to offer. For years, Carnival stuck with building smaller ships while other cruise lines were moving toward massive, innovative vessels. Even some of their ships built as recently as 2019 already feel outdated compared to the competition. But with the introduction of their Excel-class ships, Carnival has finally caught up. These megaships offer more dining options, better entertainment, and a totally refreshed atmosphere. While they're not considered luxury ships, they completely change what it feels like to cruise with Carnival. From now on, I'm only booking Carnival's newest ships. The older ones just don't compare when it comes to comfort, style, and onboard activities. If I'm going to invest in a cruise vacation, I want the best experience possible. Sailing on an outdated ship when there are incredible new options available just doesn't make sense. Number 2. I will never eat at Carnival's Steakhouse again. On my Carnival celebration cruise, I decided to splurge on a night at Fahrenheit 555, expecting a top-tier dining experience. Unfortunately, it didn't live up to the hype. While the service was great and the atmosphere was nice, the food itself was a letdown. The biggest surprise was how limited we were in what we could order. Our waiter explained that we could only choose one appetizer, one entree with 2 small sides, and one dessert. For a specialty restaurant that costs extra, I expected more flexibility, especially compared to steakhouses on other cruise lines. On top of that, the sides were tiny and my steak was overcooked and chewy. When you're paying around $50 per person, you expect a meal that's a step above the free dining options, but honestly, I've had better meals in the main dining room. I understand that Carnival is trying to cut down on food waste, but when you're paying extra, it shouldn't feel like you're being restricted on what you can order. From now on, I'll be skipping the steakhouse and sticking with Carnival's other dining options. With places like Guy's Pig and Anchor Smokehouse, Rudy's Sea Grill, and even the main dining room offering great food, I don't see a reason to pay extra for an experience that left me disappointed. If you're looking for a special dinner on a Carnival cruise, I'd recommend spending your money somewhere else. Number 3. I will never eat at Carnival's buffet again. After trying it multiple times on different ships, I've decided it's just not worth it. The food is bland, the selection is limited, and the long lines make it more of a hassle than a convenience. On my first Carnival cruise, I was shocked by how disappointing the buffet was compared to other cruise lines. The dim lighting, crowded seating, and lack of variety made it feel more like a school cafeteria than a vacation dining experience. Carnival is known for having some of the best quick-service food at sea, like Guy's Burger Joint, Big Chicken, and Blue Iguana Cantina. With options like these, there's really no reason to settle for the buffet. On my most recent cruise, I gave the Lido Marketplace one last try, hoping it had improved, but it was just as underwhelming as before. The dishes lacked flavor, and nothing stood out as worth going back for. From now on, I'll be skipping the buffet entirely unless I have no other choice. There are so many better dining options on board that it just doesn't make sense to waste time standing in line for food that isn't great. If you're cruising with Carnival, do yourself a favor and explore the specialty restaurants and quick service spots instead. You'll have a much better dining experience and actually enjoy the food you're eating. Number 4. I will never wait until the last day to try onboard thrills. One thing I'll never do again on a Carnival cruise is wait until the last day to try the onboard thrills. On my Carnival celebration cruise, I was really excited to check out the ropes course in the Ultimate Playground. It looked like such a fun and unique experience, but for some reason I kept putting it off. I figured there would be plenty of time to try it later in the cruise. Big mistake. On the last day, the winds were too strong, and the course was shut down for safety reasons. To make things worse, the Bolt roller coaster was also closed due to the weather. Just like that, I had missed my chance to try two of the biggest attractions on the ship. I was lucky that I had already ridden Bolt earlier in the cruise, but the ropes course was a total loss. I never considered that weather conditions could force these activities to close, especially on a huge cruise ship. Now I know better. Instead of waiting until the last minute, I'll make it a priority to try these kinds of attractions early in the cruise when I know they're open. If you're cruising on Carnival, don't make the same mistake I did. If there's something exciting you want to try, do it as soon as possible. Weather, crowds, or unexpected closures can happen at any time, and you don't want to miss out. A cruise goes by fast, and the last thing you want is to leave wishing you had done more. Number 5. I will never watch another center stage show in the middle. One thing I'll never do again on a Carnival cruise is watch a center stage show from the stadium-style seats. On Carnival's Excel-class ships like the Mardi Gras and Celebration, the Grand Atrium transforms into an entertainment venue with incredible performances. The shows themselves are top-notch, but the seating situation in certain areas is a nightmare. Twice, I ended up in the stadium seats on the second level, thinking they'd offer a good view. Instead, I spent the entire show trying to look around people walking in front of me, stopping to take pictures, or just standing there blocking my view. To make things worse, Carnival has their technical sound booth set up right in front of these seats. There's also a large table that adds even more obstruction. No matter how early I arrived, the stadium seats were the only ones left, and both times I regretted sitting there. It was frustrating, distracting, and took away from what should have been an amazing show. From now on, I'll make sure to grab a floor seat or find a better spot with a clear view. If that means arriving extra early, so be it. The entertainment on Carnival's newest ships is too good to miss because of a bad seat. If you're planning to catch a show in the Grand Atrium, avoid the stadium seats at all costs. It's worth the effort to find a better spot and actually enjoy the performance. Watch this video next for more cruise tips.